Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have an unending supply of motivation, while others struggle to get out of bed in the morning? It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? What's even more intriguing is this concept we call motivation. It's like this invisible force that propels us forward, fuels our aspirations and shapes our daily actions. But here's a little secret: motivation isn't some magical trait that only a select few are born with. It's not a constant either, that remains unchanged regardless of our circumstances. Instead, it's a skill, something that can be nurtured and developed over time, like learning to play the piano or mastering a new language. And why does this matter, you ask? Well, because motivation is what keeps us going, especially when the going gets tough. It's the engine that drives us towards our goals, even when the road is bumpy and full of obstacles. So, if motivation is a skill, how do we go about developing it? Let's explore some real-life anecdotes that demonstrate the power of motivation. Consider Thomas Edison, who made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb. When a reporter asked, "How did it feel to fail 1,000 times?" Edison replied, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." Now let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer power of this perspective. Edison, one of history's most prominent inventors, didn't see his numerous attempts as failures. Instead, he viewed them as necessary steps on the path to success. His unwavering motivation, his absolute refusal to be deterred by setbacks, is what led him to illuminate the world, literally. Each so-called failure was, in fact, a lesson that brought him closer to his ultimate goal. But Edison isn't the only example of the power of motivation. Let's now shift our focus across the pond to a more recent example: J.K. Rowling, the author of the beloved Harry Potter series. Rowling's path to success was far from smooth. Before she enchanted the world with her tales of witchcraft and wizardry, she faced rejection. Not once, not twice, but 12 times. Yes, you heard it right. 12 different publishers rejected the manuscript of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yet, Rowling didn't lose heart. She held on to her belief in the magical world she had created. Her motivation, her belief in her story, kept her going. And eventually, her perseverance paid off when Bloomsbury, a small British publisher, decided to give her a chance. Today, Rowling's books have sold millions of copies worldwide and have been translated into numerous languages. They've inspired a generation of readers and have forever changed the face of children's literature. So what's the message here? Quite simply, it's that motivation can make the difference between giving up and persisting until we reach our goals. Whether you're trying to invent the next big thing or write a bestseller, remember Edison and Rowling. Remember that motivation can turn 1,000 failures into 1,000 steps towards success. As we can see from these stories, motivation can make the difference between giving up and persisting until we reach our goals. But what drives motivation? What makes us keep going, even when things get tough? Well, the science behind it is fascinating. It's all about the satisfaction we derive from achieving our goals. Each time we hit a target, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure and reward. This rush of dopamine reinforces our desire to repeat the behaviors that led to success. However, it's not just about reaching the finish line. The journey matters too. Our motivation thrives on resilience, the belief that we can conquer the challenges we face. When we view hurdles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones, we foster a growth mindset. This mindset, backed by neuroscience, tells us that our brains can adapt and learn, no matter the difficulty. So, motivation isn't just about having an end goal in mind, it's also about believing in our ability to overcome the obstacles that stand in our way. Now that we understand the power and science of motivation, how can we cultivate it in our own lives? Building motivation and resilience starts with setting clear, achievable goals. These aims give you a roadmap, a sense of direction, and a finish line to strive for. But remember, it's not just about the destination. The journey matters too. Next, don't underestimate the importance of physical health. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep can boost your energy levels, enhance your mood, and improve your overall well-being. Also, reach out to your social circle. The people around you can provide emotional support, share advice, and lend a listening ear when times get tough. And last, but certainly not least, practice positive self-talk. Reinforce your belief in your abilities. Remind yourself of your strengths and past successes. Remember, motivation isn't a trait that some people have and others don't. It's a skill that everyone can develop. So next time you're facing a challenge, remember Edison and Rowling. Keep going, keep striving, and keep believing in yourself.